and see a falling star. Can you make a wish? Ooh, just remember, luck is no such thing. One man succeeds while another man fails. Why is it then you ask the stars up above?
Coming to you live from Harlem, New York City, you're watching Astrology Numerology Now, New York City's longest running Astrology Numerology Now TV show. I'm your host, you already know, this is Z Starman, professional astrologer, numerologist, giving you the latest astrology, numerology information throughout this COVID pandemic. Unfortunately, we're not back in the studio, but I'm doing this on Zoom so I can just get out the information. And if you want to call me after the show to talk astrology as it relates to you, I'm going to put up the number later on the show. But there is so much going on for the month of October 2021. So this show is basically October 2021 astrology and numerology highlights. And we have so much to share in about 28 minutes. So keep it locked right where it is, no matter where you're from, no matter what sign of the zodiac you are. I have something for everyone tonight on Astrology Numerology Now. It's Libra season. I want to say and start out by saying happy birthday to all the Libra people who are watching the show now. We're halfway through the zodiac, and this is the beginning of the second half of the zodiac, Libra. And if you know anything about Libra, Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, or if you have Libra rising sign, know your rising sign in astrology. Know your big three, your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign. But it's all about Libras right now. The sun is in the sign of Libra. It went into Libra on September 22nd at 3:20 p.m. And it's going to be there to October 22nd. There's a lot of activity going on in the sign of Libra. So if you're a Libra, or you have Libra rising sign in your chart, or if you're a mate or significant other or children of Libra, pay attention to the show. Pay attention for a couple of minutes. One thing about Libra, Libra is the only sign of the zodiac that's an inanimate object. It's the scales. The scales go up and down. The scales are about being balanced. In Egyptian or Kemetic astrology, the symbol for Libra is Ma'at. You look at that Egyptian deity, she's wearing a feather over her head. That's the symbol for Ma'at, the feather in the head. She's about balance. Ma'at, when you crossed over into the afterlife, your heart was placed on the scales, Libra, and the feather of Ma'at was used to weigh how pure your heart is. Now, if your heart was as lighted or lighter than the feather of Ma'at, you can go on to the next side or go on to the afterlife and the other side. So that's one of the principles of Libra. Libra by itself rules love, peace, harmony. But see, it's the thing about Libra, they don't have that life force running through them. And if you know a lot of Libras, they like a lot of nice things. They like a lot of glam and bling and stuff like that to supplement their shortcomings. Libras, I have two Libra sisters, and I want to say happy birthday to my sister Dolores, whose birthday is October 19th, and to my sister Penny, whose birthday is October 9th. Libra people are some of the sweetest people you want to meet. But if you're a Libra or if you have Libra rising sign and you're watching the show, before you make an executive decision, ask someone, or ask maybe 2 or 3 people, because Libras are, sun sign Libras and rising sign Libras are basically knee-jerk decision type of people. They're very creative, very artistic, but they can be somewhat mean and jealous, especially the unbalanced. See, Libra is about keeping balance. You have to be balanced if you have Libra rising sign or Libra sun sign or any planets in Libra, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes. But just getting Libra to understand yourself. It's an air sign, one of the 3 air signs, which are Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. So this is a good time of the year for Aquarius people and also Gemini people. Libras are some of my favorite people of the zodiac because they're funny, they're creative, they're sweet, but there's a yin yang to everything. Libra have to stay balanced in their personal lives, in their home life, and in the workplace. So Libra is the 7th sign of the zodiac. And before we get into other Libra stuff, I just want to wish all the Libra people happy birthday. Stay balanced. Live in the principle of Ma'at, love, peace, and harmony. If you're just watching, if you're just tuning in, this is Z Starman, host of Astrology Numerology Now, bringing you the latest astrology news and information for October 2021. Now, one of the big things, even though this show is being recorded on September 23rd, one of the big things that we have to look out for is Mercury retrograde. I know over the last 14 years, people have heard Mercury retrograde, the phrase Mercury retrograde, but Mercury will be in retrograde from September 27th to October 18th, 2021. What is Mercury retrograde? If you haven't heard of it before, and you usually hear about it about 3-4 times a year, this is the 3rd Mercury retrograde 2021, and they were all in air signs. The first one earlier this year was in Aquarius, then Gemini. Now this one is in Libra. And if you don't know what a Mercury retrograde is, Mercury retrograde, and again, this Mercury retrograde will occur from September 27th to October 18th. And one of the rules of Mercury retrograde is what can go wrong will go wrong. Mercury retrograde is a heavenly phenomenon. If we were to look at the planet Mercury in the sky from October 27th to, September 27th to October 18th, it looks like it's moving backwards. It's not actually moving backwards. It's just the speed of how it moved, or it's moving in its relationship to Earth. An example that astrologers use, especially if you're a New Yorker, and this show is based in New York, imagine being on the local train passing imagine being on the express train, like if you live in Brooklyn, and I want to say hello to all of my viewers in Brooklyn watching on the BCAT network. If you're on the A train and you're passing the C local train sometimes looks like it's moving backwards. You ever see that illusion, Brooklyn, and anywhere else in New York City you're watching the show at? The train looks like it's moving backwards. It isn't, but it looks that way. The same thing if you're driving down the highway and you're in the faster car moving past the slower moving car, that car at times looks like it's moving backwards. Mercury retrograde, or any retrograde, is an optical illusion. is about an optical illusion going on. And everyone should be mindful of the effects of Mercury retrograde. There are some do's and don'ts for Mercury retrograde. You don't start anything new. You back up all your computer files, electronic equipment, automobiles. They all tend to conk out and fail. Things aren't happening as fast as they normally would. And this Mercury retrograde is happening in the sign of Libra. So this is why October 2021 is very important for Libra people, Libra rising sign people, because this Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Libra from October, excuse me, I keep saying October, from September 27th, write it down, Mercury retrograde, October 27th or September 27th to October 18, 2021. Back up your computer files. Don't sign on anything or any new contracts or business dealings. The rule of thumb in Mercury retrograde is any word beginning with re, R-E, replan, redo, reschedule, rethink, reevaluate. Take a stock of your life, no matter what sign you are, during this Mercury retrograde. What can go wrong will go wrong. And the retrograde period is from September 27th to October 18th. But still, even after Mercury retrograde is over with, we still have to deal with as what's known as retro shade, or the shadow period, whereas Mercury has got to get back to the place where its retrograde began. So actually Mercury retrograde is a 7 to 8 week period where we all have to adjust. Things in the legal profession, a lot of legal decisions are coming through and coming down. There's got to be, or this is an opportunity that the universe is giving you during this Mercury retrograde for love, peace, and harmony. Don't get mad if your computer breaks down. Back up your computer files or your phone, anything dealing with electronics and information and transportation. People will misunderstand each other during this Mercury retrograde. So be mindful of it, be aware of it. Mercury retrograde, September 27th to October 18th, 2021. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Astrology Numerology Now. I'm your host, Z Starman, bringing you the latest astrology news and information and highlights for October 2021. Up next, we're going to talk about some other things that are going on astrologically. But before we move on, I want to give out my phone number and email address in case you want to talk to me or get a chart done. Understand who you are from an astrology and numerology point of view. Understand your husband, understand your children, understand your wife. And let me say something to you, men. The women in 2021 are way ahead of everybody when it comes to knowing who and what they're about from an astrology point of view. There's more to you than being an Aries, a Taurus, a Gemini, a Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and Pisces, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. How could I forget those Capricorns? But understand who you are. And if you want to know more about yourself from an astrology point of view and numerology point of view, give me a call. That number is 917-473-2211, 917-473-2211. I'm on all the social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram as Z Starman. So get in tune, get in touch with yourself from an astrology and numerology point of view. Speaking of numerology, October 2021 is a number 6 personal month or universal month. It's a number 6. 6 is the number of health and wellness. It's related to Virgo. It's related to work and nutrition. So during the 6th universal month, it is very important that everyone get their health thing going on as we move into winter and this COVID season. Again, no matter how important it is, however you choose to protect yourself from the coronavirus, now more than ever is the great time to double down on your holistic health, your vitamins, your nutritions, your zinc. Double down and strengthen your immune system. 6, if you look at the number 6, it looks like a pregnant woman. 6 is the number of responsibility. So everybody, including Virgo people, because Virgo is the 6th sign of the zodiac, understand who you are from a numerology point of view. But October 2021 is a number 6 universal month in a 5 universal year. 2021 adds up to number 5. So a lot of changes are going to be on the horizon for the remainder of this year. I'm just here to let you know what these changes and what to expect for the remainder of 2021. If you're just watching, you're watching Zaki, Z-Starman, professional astrologer, numerologist. Now moving on with more October highlights, October 21 highlights, we will have a new moon on October 6, 2021 at 7:05 a.m. What's the new moon? Basically speaking, is when the sun and the moon are in the same sign at the same time. If you look at the Farmer's Almanac, you always see that dark and black circle. That dark and black circle means it's a new moon. And again, this new moon is in Libra, October 6, 2021 at 7:05 a.m. If you live in California, that's 5 hours or 3 hours earlier at 4:05 a.m. Let's say if you live in London, London is 5 hours ahead of us. So that's at 12:05 p.m. in London. Everything happens simultaneously at the same time when it comes to planets, but in different time zones. And the thing with the new moon in Libra, it's a great initiative time to start anything new. Even during this retrograde, making executive decision when it comes to peace and harmony. Do you want to keep this person in your life for peace and harmony? So train, focus, and be ready with the new moon in the sign of Libra on October 6th. What else do we have to talk about? I'm looking at, got to look away from the camera or from this camera here. When you're in studio, used to having everything in front of you. Now, currently, with this Mercury retrograde coming from October 6th to September 27 to October 6th, we have 6 retrogrades going on, 6 planets. Can you believe it? It's bad enough that we have Mercury retrograde, but we have 6 other planets that will be retrograde for 10 days. It's 9 planets, and 6 of them are retrograde. And those 6 are Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But guess what? 4 of these 6 planets are about to go direct. Now, if you're the first planet that's going direct after being retrograde for about 5 months is Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of the sign Scorpio. So all you Scorpios who've been struggling and having hard times, and you got Scorpio rising, your planetary ruler is going direct. Let me see this. Pluto's been retrograde since April 27th, and it's going retrograde almost 5 months, 5.5 months later. So now it's time for Scorpio people to sort of kind of get their act together. Now Scorpio people and Scorpio rising sign people can get some things going on in their life. A lot of things, since it's Scorpio, is going to be coming from the unknown, coming from the depths of emotions and feelings. So we got Pluto going direct on October 6th. And let me look over here. We have Saturn. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. All you Capricorns who have been struggling since May 23rd, that's when Saturn went retrograde, on May 23rd, 2021. And it's going direct on October 10th. So if you're a Capricorn, or if you have Capricorn rising, you should start to see some light at the end of the tunnel, because your ruling planet is going direct. Up next, Jupiter, and this is for my Sagittarius people. Jupiter has been retrograde since June 20th, 2021, and it's going direct. Let me look at this here. It's going direct on October 18th. So 3 big planets. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius, and in old school astrology, Jupiter used to rule the sign of Pisces. So Jupiter will be going direct, and again, it's been retrograde since June 20th, and it's going direct, or stationary direct, on October 18th. So all you Sagittarius people will be able to get stuff done. Pisces people also, because your planetary ruler is going direct. And last but not least, for the month of October, Mercury is going direct on October 18th. So we got all these planets that have been retrograde for the majority of 2021 is now turning stationary direct. This is Z Starman, professional astrologer numerologist. If you want to know more about astrology, about numerology, I am a relationship expert. I like talking about compatibility when it comes to relationships, zodiac signs, whatever. Get your own chart done. Just give me a call once again, 917-473-2211. I'm on all the social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can email me at astrologylover@hotmail.com. So we got a lot going on far as astrology is concerned. I got some good news for Sagittarius people and other fire sign people. Venus is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius from October 7th to November 5th, 2021. So it's a great time. Venus is the planet of love, money, influence, but mind you, Mercury is retrograde. So all that glitters isn't gold. It should ease the path of the retrograde with Venus being in the sign of Sagittarius. And if you have Sagittarius rising, or if you have Venus sun sign, this is a wonderful time of the year for you to feel yourself and start a lot of new great things, travel, higher mind. higher philosophy. This is going to be challenging for Gemini, Pisces, and Virgo, but it benefits the fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. We got a couple of minutes left in the show. What else do we have to talk about? Oh yeah, Mars. See, this is Libra season. And the planet, I want all my Libra people, please be careful out there. Because as we speak, Mars is in the sign of Sagittarius. Excuse me, Mars is in the sign of Libra. It's a lot of activity going on in the sign of Libra. Mars doesn't work well in the sign of Libra. Mars is in its detriment. It's like a bull in a china shop with Mars being in the sign of Libra. And Mars is the planet of bloodletting, wars, fights. So find out where Mars is in your chart and be mindful of that. But again, I want everybody to be aware of the planets, where they are, what they're doing, how they relate to you and yours. Astrology is centuries years old. It's not about voodoo. It's not about bad luck. It's knowing when and where opportunities are. I've been an astrologer for about 40 years. And again, as I said, I've been doing this show for the last 13 years. It started in 2008. And this is my purpose. I could probably make money as a professional actor, and I will make money as a professional actor. But know who you are from an astrology point of view. That's about all the time we have for the show. I like to thank my producer, the lovely and beautiful Sagittarius, Deetra Kelsey. And I want to thank you, the viewers, for watching. This is Z Starman saying peace, love, light, namaste.
It's a lie. Who controls your very soul?